Hello and welcome back to the last episode of this Manchester United Rebuild Challenge here on Football Manager 2024. In this episode, we're taking a look if we were able to retain the Premier League and the Champions League titles, and if we were able to secure any other last prizes in this last season. We are also going to be taking a look at Manchester United in the year 2030 and a little bit of the leagues around us, what they are doing. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into the video. I thought it might be fitting to just jump into the end of season review to take a look. Of course, you can see right here a lot of big signings in. Jude Bellingham making an insane impact, 7 goals, 17 assists. Same goes for Lamine Yamal, but of course for that amount that we pay for them, they should make a change. Then Camavinga as well. Didn't perform as well, but played him more in a defensive position, so 7.12 is still very good. Same goes for Saliba, 4 goals as a central defender is very good. Then Giacobbe, who we see here, we have brought him in, we've played him a little bit, he is getting some good stats in, and he is developing quite nicely. He's been played 28 times, and he has an average rating of 7.1, which is very good. And the same goes for Luis Palma, who I have a big future ahead of him. I do think this guy is going to be insanely good. 2 goals, 6 assists, 7.5 rating. Whenever this guy plays, he just performs well. But you can also look at his stats. Of course, this guy is very good, very well-rounded, model pro. So I think he's going to be one of the superstars of his generation. Then for the transfers out, nothing really special to mention. We did clean up our club a little bit, so we did sell a lot of players. For example, who left is João Neves, who has been with us for a long time, but managed to sell him on because we found someone who was better in that position. Other than that, we did raise a lot of money. I think all of this together might almost be 300 something million. Not really sad to see any of these guys leave, maybe only Rooney Bargy, because we brought him in as well at the beginning and he played very well. And of course he is homegrown, so he might have been a good backup. But once again, even for a backup, he is unfortunately not good enough. Then for transfers out, we already looked at it, and loans out, it's just all of the wonder kids that we have in our club we have loaned out. And they have been getting some playing time. And of course, if we were playing another season, I would have looked at how they were doing. But of course, I don't have that to do that anymore, since we're ending the series. Premier League champions. In first, 103 points. I think after that Manchester City game, we really went on a tear and we actually beat everyone quite handily. Some 1-2-1 victories here, but that was because I was putting in a backup squad since we were so far ahead in the Premier League. Benjamin Sesko, 38 goals. Very nice from him. He is the top scorer for United and also for the Premier League now, because Haaland luckily didn't manage to score more goals than him. So, retained the Premier League title again. I think that's 3 years in a row. We're very happy with that. We are by far the best team in the Premier League right now. So we should be able to comfortably win the Premier League, I hope, for the couple 5-6 seasons after. Then on to the Champions League. Well. We did beat Real Madrid first, then Barcelona, then Paris. So we did have a very tough road to the finals, but then we just faced Benfica. Benfica didn't really put in an effort for us. It was a very easy win. I even filled in some backup teams. So once again winning the Champions League, which is absolutely insane. Then also the Super Cup. We did unfortunately lose against West Ham at the beginning of the season, but you have already seen that. Then the FA Cup we also won, and once again it wasn't easy. Newcastle, Liverpool, City and Chelsea we had to beat to eventually win the FA Cup once again. And as you can see, in all of those 3 competitions, 88.2, 88.2, 88.2. So we're almost 100% filling our stadium, which is insanely good for us. Then onto the Carabao Cup. It wasn't anything special. We did beat Arsenal on penalties, I think that was. Then Liverpool over 2 legs with 2 little victories. And West Ham in the end, in the final, 5-1. I think it was a couple of goals from Jose Romero. Yeah, it was 1 there and 2 from Sesko. So that was a very good and nice victory for us. And then of course you already saw we did also manage to win the English Community Shield, which is absolutely great. So we're winning 5 prizes this season, which is our best season so far. Then on to the finances. As you can see, we have a new sponsorship deal. Another 70 million is coming in, which is insane. I don't know where the money is coming from, but I think we are the club with the best commercial revenue in the whole world at this point. We're getting in almost 500 million from sponsorships, a couple millions from corporate and hospitality. Competition prize money, of course, is a lot this season because we won a bit more trophies. And then the matchday commercial and retail has also shoot up because we have, of course, also improved our stadium. And other than that, 242 million in merchandising sales, which is absolutely insane. I don't think I've ever seen that much money coming in from merchandising, but very well and very nice to see actually that we're doing so well. Then how we lined up in that last season. It does say Quascalia played the most of it, but he didn't. But as you can see, Jose Romero, Rodrigo Gonzalez, and Sesko scoring a lot of goals and having a lot of assists. And the same goes for Jude Bellingham and Zaire Emery on those flank positions. So very happy with all of those. No one is below a 7.1, and they've actually selected Samuele Di Chiacoppe here. I don't agree with those because they have maybe played a bit more apps, but the guys that were playing there in the first place, they really deserve to be there. That was a season review, and now let's jump into a little bit more of how Manchester United is looking in the year 2030. Right here you see the supporter profile, 85 million followers, and it's actually gone down, which I don't understand since we have become a lot bigger. Other than that, we have also managed to increase the stadium once again, which means that for 2 months we have a little less capacity, but we'll get another 1500 seats, which means that we are going to be around the 90k, maybe even over 90k, which is absolutely insane. I think that's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, stadium in the Premier League. So here's the Premier League, how it's looking. Past winners, of course, the last couple of years we've been winning it, and I think the first season we played, we finished in 4th, and after that just 2nd places all around. Here we barely didn't manage to win the Premier League, but then of course we got Sesko in, and we were really running it over. As you can see, a lot of goals, a lot of points. I think almost every year above 100 points. This season was a little bit tough, but of course, as you can see, 103 points once again. And what's very interesting about the Premier League is, as you can see here, we have the highest average attendance with 88,000, which is almost 24k more than West Ham, which once again tells me that Manchester United really is the biggest team in the Premier League. And in the Champions League, of course, once again we've won it 4 times in a row, which is absolutely insane. Very good from us. And then also the FA Cup, we've also won it 4 times in a row. I don't think the same goes for the Carabao Cup. No, we did win it 2 times in the last 4 years, but I didn't really have a priority with it most of the time. So that's looking insanely good. I think we're one of the best teams. As well, as you look into our finances, you see we're almost spending 9 million on wages. But then again, if we take a look at the income, as I showed you as well last season, we're almost earning 478 million in sponsorships, and then also 242 in merchandising, which is absolutely insane. That together with also us buying a lot of players and selling them on for a profit later on means that we're doing very, very well when it comes to the finances. And I think Manchester United couldn't really be any healthier than it is now, because if we look at the finances, you'll see 70 million in the bank balance, but we haven't gotten all our sponsorship money yet. And we can spend almost 374 million without selling any players on new players. That is absolutely insane. We could still also ask for more affiliate clubs. I did do that, and as you can see through the years, I have really built myself up a nice couple of affiliate clubs. Most of them are helping me with the youth intake or players coming into Manchester United that possibly have better youth. but I feel like it doesn't really work at all. The game tells you it does work, but I don't think it really does. Anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's jump straight into what players we've used got through the years and how the team is looking like right now. Alright, and then onto the team. I will just quickly show you what the players are looking like. We, of course, a lot of them developed very well or are already in the game very close to their potential, so it doesn't really need anything. I think Jude Bellingham is one of the best players in the game, so really happy to have him in. Scalvini, of course, we brought in on a very young age, I think over 7 years ago. Yeah, one of our second purchases. Christian Romero was actually our first purchase for 85 million. Played pretty decent over the years. What I don't like about this guy is that he has 20 aggression, so don't really like it. Daniel Yamal, of course, his first season, insane player. And the best signing I've ever made as a wonder kid. Look how good this guy is. 20 passing, 18 first touch. Only greens where he needs it. And we bought this guy for 13.2 million. The Argentinians in this game have been really insane for me. 19 caps already, 21 years old. This guy scored 7 goals this season and he's only going to get better. Then of course we also have Musiala, who we brought in for an insane fee, I think in the 3rd season. Has been performing very well for us, as you can see, scoring 10 plus goals in every season he plays. And of course the 3rd season where we got our first Premier League win, he got a 7.8, which is absolutely insane to see. Then we've also got Benjamin Sesko, who we brought in for I think a 130 mil, scoring over 25 goals a season, which is absolutely insane. And in this season, barely not getting the Premier League Golden Boot, just because Haaland scored I think 5 more or something like that. Then other than that, we still have like an insane team on the bench. Matang, Sar, Negreiros, who's also a wonder kid, also very happy with signing him. A bit more expensive, but look how good this guy already is. Greens everywhere, could still improve, a very well player. He's going to be the future of Manchester United for sure. Then we still got Slotterbeck, who we also bought for a very high fee. Iheanacho, Bruce Matahal, who's also a youngster who we brought in, South African, 1 million. This guy, I mean, for 1 million, do I really want to get rid of him? Only his marking is bad, but other than that, I'm very happy having him in. Then, of course, we get Hincapi, who is now 28 years old and developed very nicely. Jose Romero, another wonder kid, looking insane. Lombardo, also another wonder kid, looking insane. Kvaratskhelia, of course, one of the best players that I have used in this game. He doesn't always turn up in big games, but this guy has been a real help for us throughout the years. Almost scoring a 7.2 rating overall and just scoring an insane amount of goals for us. So happy with that signing. And then another wonder kid, Salilovic. He's going to be the replacement for Sesko whenever he is too old or whenever he's injured. And this guy, I mean, just take a look at him. He is the real deal. Then other than that, we still have a lot of players on the bench. Pafundi right here, who is a backup. Darvic, who's a backup. Hoyland, who is a backup and was injured and I really want to sell. He developed well, but he's just not good enough. He just lacks a little bit in the technical department and the mentals, and Sahilovic and Sesko are just a lot better. And then other than that, there's not really anything on here, just a couple of wonder kids. I will show you them quickly, pause the game if you want to take a further look at them. One that I'm very curious about is Kenny Sutton. Loaned this guy out a couple of times. He didn't really develop as quickly as I would want him to, because I spent like 30 million on the guy so that he would get homegrown trained, but then he didn't develop, so I just decided to loan him out. And other than that, still a lot of pretty decent wonder kids, nothing too special. If they were special, they would have already been playing in our first team. So that is how the team is looking. And once again, take a look at Rodrigo Gonzalez, because a better wonder kid than this guy I don't think I'll ever find. Just to give you a quick rundown, what else was happening in the world of football. Real Madrid have dominated at the beginning, and then Barcelona took over, and now Real Madrid winning it once again. For the Serie A, AC Milan actually winning it 3 times, and Juventus in the first season ever, so that's also interesting. Now Inter back on top, and Atalanta actually winning it this year just barely. That is actually very insane to see. Then in the Bundesliga, Bayern München continuing their dominance. And in Ligue 1, I think, yeah, Paris Saint-Germain. Who else? Who else could be there? Then in Portugal, Benfica have actually been on a tear down. That's very impressive to see. And then in the Eredivisie, of course, it's Ajax back on top after a couple of seasons where Feyenoord were the better than them. I will also quickly show you the Belgian league. Here we have Antwerp, Anderlecht and Gent winning it. And then of course we also still have the Euro Cup. I don't know how it's called. Yeah, here it is, the World Cup. No, this is the qualifiers. Let me see. I think I just need to go right here because of course I've been playing in the Champions League. But in the Europa League you'll see Arsenal winning it, Sporting, Roma, West Ham and actually Vigo winning it this season. That is very impressive from Vigo because I don't even think they have that good of a team. And in the Conference League of course, Brighton, Aston Villa, Real San Sebastian, and then West Ham, another English team, and Wolfsburg actually winning it this season, beating Atletico on penalties, which is very insane to see. Then let's see if we can find the Euro Cup or the European football. You'll see here Italy won it, and England actually won it in 2024, and then Portugal winning it once again in 2028. Beating England actually in the final, so very interesting to see that. And then let's see if we have the World Cup somewhere as well. Also England winning it in 2026, so it's actually been brought home. That is very interesting to see. Of course Argentina we all know about. And this year we actually have the 2030 World Cup going on. And actually Cape Verde made it into the Group A. That is interesting. Let's see if we see anything surprising. Suriname went in there. Honduras, actually very interesting to see. Dominican Republic. So a lot of very big changes and some very small countries who actually make it in. Angola there as well. So that's going to be it. I think I'm going to be ending this series here. But before I end it, I have one last thing to mention. With all of that out of the way, I don't think anyone can argue that Manchester United is not one of the best, if not the best clubs in the world. 4 Premier League titles, 3 sorry we've won, and 4 Champions League titles. And with this team I expect to be able to keep on winning the Premier League for another 6 to 7 years, also with all the wonder kids that we have into the club. Anyway, if you like the series, please don't forget to leave a like down below and subscribe for more. I'm going to be releasing a new series soon, so please go ahead and give me some ideas if you have them below. What kind of series you would want me to do and with which club, and I'll be taking a look at that. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next series of Football Manager 24. Take care.